All right. Today's date is May 3rd, 2012. The time is approximately 3:16 p.m. This will be an interview conducted at the EVAC headquarters in Daytona Beach, located at 135 Carswell Avenue. The person being interviewed is clearing medic Christopher Marshall. The person conducting the interview is Special Agent Tim Kraft of Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The interview is in reference to a law enforcement officer involved shooting involving the Daytona Beach Police Department that occurred on April 28, 2012. Reference to DB case number 270042. Mr. Marshall, can you raise your right hand? You solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, on this particular date, you were working for EVAC, and you had an occasion to receive a dispatch call in reference to this law enforcement officer involved shooting. Can you, in your own words, describe to me what your actions were, what your observations were during that call?
Yes. I arrive on scene after seamless secure, of course. I find the female patient. She's laying supine next to her car. The passenger side window shot out. There was a police officer standing over her. He told me where she was shot. I did my evaluation. The patient kept saying that she could not breathe. She had a penetrating injury to her torso, so I called a trauma alert. Upon further evaluation, the patient was negative for PMS, pulse motor sensation from the nipple line down. She couldn't have her legs. She was complaining of she couldn't breathe. The police officer, all he did was hold C-spine. I couldn't get the officer's name. But loaded patient on the backboard and pretty much load and go. We really didn't stay. We were on scene for 7 minutes. So all I saw was one officer there, and I saw the other victim, I guess the shooter. He was on the other side of the fence in the middle of a parking lot, and that's all I saw.
Okay. I'm going to back you up just a little bit. What type of call was it?
It was a shooting.
Okay, so it was a shooting call? That's
Yes.
how it went out over the radio for you?
Yep, they said it was a shooting at the airport, and there were people down, and then they confirmed it was at Embry-Riddle at Richard Petty's.
Okay. So you are en route, and you're with two partners?
Yes.
Which is Gorman and Lewin?
Yes, sir.
And what do you see when you arrive there?
There's already police tape everywhere. We were trying to figure out how to get in. We were right there after Unit 62, which was with Kristen Winger and Chris Morrow. We went around and...
Do you recall what your unit number was that night?
Oh,
it's not imperative.
No,
okay.
I think it was either 44 or 84, something before.
Okay.
Yeah, we just show up on scene. The patient had her shirt off, and it was laid on top of her. I guess because the police officer just wanted to see where she was shot. She was shot in the left breast. And bleeding was controlled. He said it looked like a .40 caliber.
So there was one Daytona Beach police officer with the female when you arrived?
Yep, standing over her, and as soon as I walked up, he showed me where she was shot.
She was... Describe to me again where she was. Was she in the car, out of the car?
Nope. The car was kind of angled at a weird angle up on the curb. The passenger door was open, shot out, and she was laying on her back. Looked like maybe she kind of got up and fell out. Maybe she was shot before, but I don't know. Or maybe she was getting up to run away and she was shot. But she was laying on her back, and she could not move anything. She was barely able to move her arms.
Okay. Did she make any statements to you when you were on the scene?
No statements. She just said, I couldn't breathe. That's all she said. And I asked, what happened? She said she couldn't remember.
Oh, wow.
Even en route to the hospital, I kept asking her what happened, and she could not tell me what happened.
So your sole focus was the female victim.
Yes.
That was outside of that car. Do you recall what type of car it was?
A champagne or beige color 4-door car. Maybe like 2000 something model.
Okay.
I can't remember if it was a Chevy or a Toyota. It was like a champagne color.
What else do you observe while you're there? You said something about seeing the other subject off in the area. Do you recall?
I looked over to the right, there was a fence right next to me to my right, and the patient was laying down in a parking lot. I was maybe 100 yards away from him. And I saw a couple of police officers, maybe a couple of Daytona Fire Department, and then Kristen and her partner Chris. I really didn't pay much attention because our patient, I didn't know anything about him. She just seemed more critical. So, like I said, we were on scene for 7 minutes. Load and go. We were right across the street from the hospital, so we just had to go because she was deteriorating in front of us.
Okay. All right. The time is approximately 3:21 p.m. This will conclude the interview.